Alberta shocked industry and casual observers alike, announcing a nearly 7-month moratorium on new wind and solar projects. The provincial government says it's a response to concerns around loss of agricultural land and the eyesore factor, and maybe Ottawa's inability to play nice on natural gas development. Most informed observers think there's more to the story. The Pembina Institute's Binnu Jeyakumar joins us on Real Talk.
Minister Neudorf's mandate letter actually says affordability is a top concern for Albertans and that the government should take proactive action to stabilize and reduce the cost to all Albertans. And the cheapest source of energy right now in Alberta is wind and solar, and this puts the brakes on that. We found that Albertans could save $600 a year if we converted to a clean grid.
At the end of the day, people care most, like, what does my utilities bill look like at the end of the month?
Wind and solar have a lot of other benefits, but the biggest impact for us in Alberta is the electricity prices. Another thing potentially that average Albertans also care about is jobs and what does their local community look like. When we looked at this announcement, it could actually put at risk about 100 projects, which represents $25 billion of investment. And what that means locally is tens of thousands of jobs and local revenues. Vulcan, for example, they get 45% of their municipal revenues from renewable energy projects. So these can make up a big part of a town's revenue.
Binnu, did you just say 45%?
I know. It blew my mind too. Yeah, definitely. There are towns where they're losing some revenue from oil and gas pipelines, for example, as the production drops or for some reason as price of oil is low. And they're looking to renewables as a more reliable source of income. Yeah, almost half.
We all look at neighboring provinces or across the country. So immediately, they say like BC, Yukon, Saskatchewan, and then on from there. How does Alberta's decision here stack up to or compare what they're doing nearby?
It's a step in the other direction. It's really fascinating. Exactly. All the way from BC to Atlantic Canada, provinces are procuring more renewable energy. And it doesn't matter the ideology of the government in place. So even if you look at conservative governments in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, they all are investing in renewable energy. So this tells you this goes beyond party colors. Ontario actually recently issued the largest procurement for storage in Canada's history. So that's why it's a bit mind-boggling that Alberta would go in the different direction. Yeah. And what it tells me when I see conservative provinces investing in this too, it tells me that this is an economic case, right? Like they're doing it for jobs, they're doing it for investments, they're doing it to bring prices of electricity down. We have exceeded the greenest, deep green scenarios that Pembina said that even Pembina thought was too ambitious. Alberta has already exceeded those scenarios. So Alberta's performance on decarbonizing its grid, even to date, has exceeded everybody's expectations.
I was blown away based on your information to learn that I didn't know that, to be honest, that Alberta was not just becoming, but maybe already kind of sort of the renewable energy capital of Canada. Like more than 3/4 of wind and solar development built in Canada last year, more than 75% was in Alberta. I think that would be a surprise to like 99% of Albertans, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like as that graph shows, it's definitely, without any debate, the leader of renewable energy development in Canada. There are companies like Maple Leaf Foods they're headquartered in Ontario, but they have operations and they're purchasing renewables in Alberta. We've got Amazon, right? Like it could have gone to any province and it's moving into Alberta. And one of the top 3 reasons they stated for moving into Alberta was that because we have the renewable energy potential and a market where they could procure that renewable energy.
Amazon move here for, I'm sure, a myriad of reasons, or at least a few attractive ones. But if this, as you described, is one of them, and then see this moratorium imposed, I mean, all it would take is one big corporate player. I mean, the biggest, maybe aside from Apple, is Amazon. To pull out. They'll move. I mean, big corporations will move jurisdictions all the time. They don't care. They're going to do what's best for their bottom line. They're going to do what's best for their own reputation. They're going to do what's best for their own shareholders. You can envision a scenario where a move like this to appease some rural voters or whatever the case may be could really blow up in the government's face.
I know we're always worried about sometimes climate policies driving investments away. This is a really good example of where an anti-climate policy could actually drive investments away.
For further perspectives on this story, you can click here for our interview with Alberta's Environment Minister, Rebecca Schultz, and click here to hear from the NDP's energy critic, Najwan Al-Junaid.